John Cena has retired from wrestling on the topic of death.
Well, I'm not plugged into wrestling. I only know John Cena as the actor in Peacemaker. So,
Well, John Cena came up through, one of those wrestling schools, the same one that like Dave Bautista, Randy Orton, and like Brock Lesnar were. That was their cohort. The ruthless aggression era, as it's called, post Attitude Era. John Cena in a lot of ways, alongside Randy Orton in a lot of ways. But John Cena kind of carried wrestling for a long period of time. People talk about their Mount Rushmores, your Undertaker and your Randy Savage and your, what would you put if there were four? For me, it's unambiguous. Forget like your favorite or the most impactful or the most influential or whatever. I'm just going to give you the four that's like that carried all of that, they made the biggest impact on the thing existing in the first place. And that would be Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena, I think is in that club. So he's like pushing 50. He's like, right? I think he's like 48 or something.
Well, he looks really good for that.
He's absolutely ripped and all that. He gave the company a lot. He was, famously one of these guys that was very committed to the road for a really long time. They pushed him as a good guy for so long. They kind of went overboard with the good guy thing for so long that he started getting booed. And normally, like at some point you flip them heel so that kind of it works. And they just never, just insisted on not flipping him heel. So they just kept pushing him as a good guy. But, I think John Cena in a lot of ways has become an American institution. And in the episode of Pluribus, he's like the kind of, we wanted some celebrity. Like in some ways, he's like the modern celebrity. He's like the kind of go-to face and voice of celebrity. He has had a really creative kind of final run. In wrestling, they don't normally do what has been done here. They don't normally do like a farewell tour. They don't normally, there are some customs in wrestling around how you're supposed to say goodbye. And one of the big ways is you got to lose your last match. That's a must. Because the idea is that you use whatever juice you built up, whatever credibility you built up to pass on to, oh my God, that guy is the one who beat John Cena, right? And John Cena was one of the big critiques was that he never lost. So he's repeatedly winning and not putting over other talent or burying other talent. These are some of the circus terms you'll hear. He said, well, what would happen if I did a farewell year? So I'll be on the road. I'll commit myself to wrestling for, I'll do whatever it was, 52 dates or something. I'll do like a whole lot of appearances. I'll give my kind of final big year to wrestling. He goes, I felt like my body slowed down. I'm going to do it. The conventional wisdom thing to do would be to start that a little after WrestleMania and then end at, your finale would be WrestleMania. But he flipped it. He was like, WrestleMania will be kind of like the start of the tour and then we'll end it in December. That was what he ended up doing. And they flipped him heel. So they did like a big heel turn early on against Cody Rhodes. So he did this fun thing for a few months where he was telling everybody, how much he resented them and how like I have to babysit your fucking kids, because you won't parent them and all this stuff. And he got to have his kind of feuds again with Lesnar and Orton and do a big farewell tour. It was really fun.
Do you want to know the real reason why I don't have kids? Because I've spent the last 25 years raising yours!
With ample time before the final farewell, they flipped him back to face. And this led into a final match with Gunther, this big guy that they've been pushing that's, a pretty bad heel. So here's the part. I say all of this for this reason. You'll see a meme out there. You'll see, if you haven't seen it already, it's like a close up of Cena's face smiling and like a chokehold, like all just like skin around his face, like he's being birthed. The finisher, which in wrestling, everything's story, right? Everything's narrative. So whatever the finisher, whatever the final thing that he loses to would be the sort of final story of the John Cena character, the John Cena, and he promises you beyond a shadow of doubt that there will not be one more match. There will not be a reunion match. They're like his big thing is like, I gave you a year and I'm out. So this is the last time you see me in a ring. Gunther does the chokehold. Cena famously does not tap out. He's struggling. He finally smiles with some degree of kind of like contentment and he taps, and John Cena's career is done. So first of all, some smart ass decided to zoom way in on that, on him, him smiling with, so it just looks very strange.
Okay. It is very strange.
Well, because not only do they crop in on it, but then they made it right side up, you know?
Yes.
Because it was on his side.
The work week grabbing a hold of you. Yeah.
I watched this pretty long interview with Cena talking to Cody Rhodes. You know, Peacemaker, right? The Cena character. You regard Cena as kind of like a smart aleck, kind of funny, right? Kind of like a big personality. I don't know what it is, man. Like when this dude is doing interviews, though, he is the most humorless, self-serious, up his own ass. Like, look, respect to John Cena. He just talks about respect and going into that ring and showing you the respect and expecting the respect that you would give back to me. It's just like the whole interview is that.
Everything I preach about story and drama and having a conversation with the audience, we're just in a sleeper hole, man.
Yeah. Ed Koski brought that up.
We're just in a sleeper hole.
Sleeper for
but
sleeper.
We're having that conversation with the audience.
He starts talking about this finisher that they had concocted, and he's like, because I believe that in life, we struggle. We struggle for that last breath. And we all have a moment where we're finally going to smile and breathe that last breath, knowing that we have given everything and that it's time to finally smile and let go. And so he's talking, he's like, I was doing an allegory for death, like in the ring. And I was like, whoa, wrestling is deep, man. Like these wrestlers are telling big stories.
All I know about John Cena is, Peacemaker, and then him apologizing to China in awkward Mandarin or whatever.
Yeah, that was very, very, very weird.
I don't remember what the circumstances of why he was apologizing. I just remember that video going around being like, what is going on?
你好，中国，这是叫希娜。我必须说，现在
He's a great entertainer for sure. And, he's got this ridiculous physique and he was a gift to wrestling and he gave a lot to wrestling, gave a lot to the WWE specifically. He was never one of those guys that jumped around. He was a company man. I mean, like really. And, and they'd say that James Gunn says one of the things he really likes about him is he's got a ton of integrity. He's just kind of fun to be around and, very reliable and very committed. And he was on Joe Rogan and they were like, what are you going to do now that you're done with all that? And he's like, well, I've been around the world 1 billion times, but normally it's just in the side of bars and in hotels and then we're gone. He's like, so I'd like to actually walk around Tokyo and I'd like to actually see, he's like, I'm going to use time to, cause he was like, wait, you're going to go straight to acting, straight to all these roles. And he was like, well, I want to also have actual real time off. Cause I think when you're a wrestler, it's, there's no evenings to unwind really. You're just working constantly. You're just on a poster constantly,
I mean, he has charisma. I didn't quite like the Peacemaker show. I don't like the characters or anything, but what carries me through is his charisma. He is definitely charismatic. He's definitely holds your attention. I think he's definitely funny. So, he's a talented guy.
He's from here. He's from West Newbury, Massachusetts. You can kind of tell, can't you? He's a little bit of a Massachusetts bro. He doesn't drop his R's, but he does. He has a Mark Wahlbergian
Stance to him.
You have 1 more minute until you're late for family dinner and in violation of Rule 109 of John Cena's house rules.
And his name is John Cena!